Welcome back. Today is Friday, TGIF, and we are on the 7th of October. Time check, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that will be 10:30 p.m. Singapore Asia time. Welcome back, and so happy to see all of you today. And today, it's kind of a quiet market till we hit the tail end of the week itself, and everyone is just trying to settle down, go for a long weekend. Likewise for us. So we're going to take a look at a few important stocks before we dive into the weekend itself. Okay, so a big welcome to those of you who are joining us live. I think this time round we got quite a number of new friends who join us for the first time, and I want to give a shout out. All right, so welcome. And if you are live right now on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, just simply go and fire off the live chat, and you're going to see your name appearing right in front of the screen. All right. A big shout out to Mark Wang, TGIF, yes, Kelvin. I look very fresh, but I'm not fully recovered yet. I'm going to show you a shocking news in a short while. I see Hua Chen, thanks for joining us. Ryan, Catherine, good to see you, and Jay, and welcome to everyone. Wow, there's a long list right here, and the streaming is just pushing the data through. Christopher, Jacqueline, Aries, Jeffrey, and who else is on board? I see Regine. Regine, I think I see you for the first time. Oh, first, I'm early today. Ronnie, Christopher, Milton, Kenny. So, excuse me. I was so excited. I thought I survived the first week of the COVID-19. And then this morning I went to do a test. And the results is out right now. It's kind of shocking to me as well. Look at this. I got two very strong red lines. Oh my gosh. Two very strong red lines, and looks like, I'm still filled up with COVID-19. Let me just throw this away. Okay, so I can't give the green light straight away, but I was told by my friends some of those COVID-19 once you suffer from getting infected, no matter how you do the test, like 1 month later, you still get a double line. I'm not too sure that is true or not. All right, so I want to verify that. Physically, I think I'm still a bit breathless. I think age is catching up on me. So I'm not 100% fully recovered yet. So just be very patient with me, all right? But I think all this happens for a good reason. Okay, I'm excited about today, and I hope you found the most important article that we're going to kind of cross-match. And if we have a cross-match, that'll be fantastic, all right? So Friday, this time round, we take it easy and slow. Not much information coming out for the marketplace, other than the fact that, hey, there's a word that's being mentioned for the first time, and I'm not too sure you caught the drift. This is a really, really scary word, all right? I want to just kind of bring up to your attention, and once we've seen it, is one time we see it enough, and that's about it. And it's right now live. Here we go.
Nuclear weapons after suffering significant
Armageddon
in their 8-month invasion of Ukraine. Biden added that Vladimir Putin was not joking when he talked about using chemical weapons. And
So you got it? That is the word Armageddon, and that's, if in fact, actually breathed out the mouth of President Joe Biden. Is very scary. That's a 3-day series that I've been talking about a potential nuclear crisis coming up. I'll be formulating a thesis just on the nuclear crisis, plus the energy crisis. These two kind of go hand in hand because it depends on which side that you are taking on right now. And obviously, OPEC Plus, they are very adamant. They are standing on the side, not literally in the sense, but on the favoring side of Russia, China, and they want to kind of stick around together. Why? Because as oil prices go up, Russia will benefit, will profit, and they'll have the war chest to fight the war even longer. And that's the reason why they decided to reduce the output, despite the protests from the Americans. So this is playing out really interesting, and that's the reason why I think we'll enter into a season of energy crisis together with the nuclear crisis. I want to expound on these two ideas much more in detail, especially about specific stocks to trade within the umbrella of these two, Clemen. All right. Now let's go into our hot story of the day, and I hope you got yours ready. I got mine ready, all set up, and really excited to share this with you. Ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's check this out. CD Group. Wow, excuse me. Excuse me about that. I think I'm still trying to recover from my cough. CD pounds the table on buying tech stocks. Here are their favorite strategies and picks. All right. I want to formulate this thinking into tech. And there's so much going on about Zoom, Teladoc, and all the great stuff that Katie Wood is preaching. But right now, this market for the technology stocks, they have been taken for a very, very huge beating, right? And some of the ideas are worth us taking a second look. It's going to be quite straightforward. Let me dive into the exact parts here. Right. First thing first, let's revisit our two tech giants, because Apple and Microsoft, both of them, they make up about 45% of the weightage of S&P 500. All right. So let's start out with Apple. Now, in Apple, what's the backdrop of Apple? We know that this is supported. In fact, the number one stocks in the portfolio of Warren Buffett, and kind of taken a beating. And this beating is what drives us thinking about 14th of November. We will know for sure in Q3 whether Warren Buffett went in to buy up even more Apple shares, since it is so undervalued, right? So what do you mean by undervalued? Right over here. The zone that we are looking at for Apple is always defined right across here. Here we go. So this is the start of the year. And then anything that goes below 150 is an indicator by Warren Buffett, where he proclaimed back then in Q1 that was considered a low price. And he went in to buy Apple stocks for the first time over the last 4 to 6 years, to buy Apple when kind of Apple dropped to 150 at a point in time. So Q1, Q2, he bought up Apple shares, but Q3 is the one that's important, all right? It says 7, 8, 9. That's July, August, and September, all right? So this is the one that we are really, really concerned about, is Warren Buffett continuing to enter the market to buy up more of Apple shares, 7, 8, 9. So that will be defined in this rectangular box there, okay? So if it is true that he went in to buy, then today for it to trade at 140, this is considered a discounted price. And that's the reason why we are revisiting our thinking about Apple and thinking about, hey, is this the best time to load up even more of Apple shares? All right, so that's the first candidate we are looking at. The second candidate we are looking at is Microsoft. And again, the way I always frame the picture is like, this is like gorgeous. Who has such a stock chart in the middle of the pandemic? And that's none other than Microsoft. But it has been taken for a beating again. Right over here, again, we have to divide into two parts. At the start of the year, 2022, dropped to 275. This is the line which represents the fair price. But right now, it has fallen below this red box, all right? So today is trading at $235 per share, dropped with another 4.64% on the stock price. So you can see this again is a very, very compelling. It is right now considered the lowest point since it broke below the 200-day simple moving average line. And we are talking about $235 per share, okay? So these two, keep a lookout for it. I'll be firing off the trade after this live stream. And then we come back and let's look at other candidates in terms of tech strategies and topics. So here we go. We have been trading actively on number one, Intuit, as well as Vokiva. I've not traded on Vokiva yet. And I want to take a look at these two to compare side by side. All right. So we're going to do it right now. INTU, Intuit, spread out 1 year. And we want to see the 2000. Bottom left, sorry. and we spread out like this, okay? So kind of look like similarly to Apple, right? Kind of floating at $400 range. Now, some of you may want to avoid Intuit because the per share price is $400. But I got good news for you. You can today go into the market to buy up fractional shares. Instead of buying one share for $400, you can put in 0.1 share and you only cough up $40 to buy a fractional 10% of the original share. All right. So 400 represents a crazy, crazy price again right here. There's so many discounted price out there in the marketplace. Second candidate, Vokiva, ticker symbol WK, and this guy kind of rebounded off $75. So very, very easy to just kind of plot it across. And again, these are kind of a spotlight right now because the analyst is just talking about them. So it has kind of recovered from the $75 line. We got very, very strong take up of insider trading right here. Look at the beautiful green volume right there where it was spiking up. This is kind of a rare. First time it happened in the year 2022. That means it set up a price floor. Price floor around $70 or $75 is equally nice as a price floor. All right, so we got 4 great stocks that we just taken a look at, and we continue press on. Now for hardware, I'm not too convinced about hardware related stocks, simply because of transportation, logistics, and all kinds of bottlenecks. So I want to give this a skip. Some of you may want to look into it. But the other one that's of interest that we have been speaking about it for quite some time right now because of Bill Ammon dumping Netflix, right? So good for us to relook at how Netflix is performing at this moment. Here we go, NFLX. And here we go, check this out, boom, okay? So the first drop right here, right over here, and the second drop right here, this drop, the first drop, Bill Ammon came in, but in the second drop, Bill Ammon dumped the stock, right? So just remember these two square boxes. Right now, where is it trading at? We are all waiting for the signal for it to break 250. So don't rush into Netflix. Netflix is about breaking above 250 as an indicator that it's going to recover from the low subscriber count, all right? So they've taken a hit in the streaming wars. We are just looking out for the next blockbuster. Will it be the Squid number 2 and whatever, right? So this is the one that kind of will drive up the earnings for Netflix. All right, I'm going pretty fast right here. I want to cover as much as possible, and my target is to aim to finish by 11 o'clock, right? Because this is a Friday. This is the moment in time the market just settling down, so don't have to rush, all right? Peak earnings is coming in really, really soon, and that is starting from next week onwards. So this week is the final tail end of the earnings season. So Elastic, Atlassian, that's called Jira, and KLA, these three are in the best buys in software and semiconductor. All right, so we're going to take a look at these three, and then we're going to round up for tonight. Let's start off with Elastic. Here we go. ESTC, that's your ticker symbol, Elastic. Check this out. And again, very close to the number that we look at just now, $75 is the range, and looks like it will start to cross above the 200-day simple moving average line pretty soon, maybe around my red box right there. Oh, somebody's sneezing. The next guy after Elastic is Jira, Atlassian. All right, so let's take a look at ATLASS, ticker symbol Team, TEAM. We're using tools from this company, and so let's see where it's performing. The line again, you're going to find this very, very familiar, right? 250 and about to cross above the 200-day simple moving average line. And that's what everybody is waiting for, breaking above the 200-day simple moving average line. Okay, so you can see that part is always like consistently what we're looking out for. Next candidate right over here, KLA. Check this out. KLA. And this guy is just floating sideways. Now, this kind of stocks, if you look at it, I would prefer much to look at, like Apple, Microsoft, bigger cap stocks is a safer bet for me. All right. So that's kind of a round up this part on why they call it pounding the table on buying tech stocks. And here are the favorite strategies and picks. All right. So you can go and check it out. And, I'm just waiting for 14th of November, the insider trading data for Q3 to be released. And then that will position the trades all the way to Santa Claus rally. Okay. So just make sure you make a conscious effort to track that. Now, I want to revisit some of the energy stocks that we've been, talking about for the past 3 days. CVX, we're going to take a look right now. This guy has already started to move. So let's take a look right here. This is in response to the oil supply cuts by the OPEC Plus, right? So you can see this part here. Nice. And typically, you want to see things like that. All right. So please watch. This is the 200-day simple moving average line. All right. I'm just tracing it. And you want the candle from below cut above. The moment it cuts above, it sets a new benchmark, right? This is the signal we have been waiting for. So those of you into CVX, congratulations. Second one by Warren Buffett, that's Occidental, has also started to move for this part here, right? Can see all green candle, boom, 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 and it stays above the 200-day simple moving average line. Third one is XOM's ExxonMobil. This guy about to hit all-time high. Look over here. This is the previous high, and right now it's going to break above the previous high. 105 is the score, all right? So that kind of give you the thinking that, wow, as long as we kind of stay in touch with the marketplace, we know what's happening. And really, sometimes you don't really need a lot of common sense. Just being in touch, staying input. And I want to thank all of you, who are just following us very closely on the YouTube live stream. Every time I come on board, I just want to make sure I bring to you the important key changes that we need to monitor on, all right? Are we going to work on nuclear stocks? And nuclear stocks is kind of difficult to work on, other than if you think about defense stocks related. But there'll be issues like when a nuclear strike is launched, which stocks will move dramatically, all right? So there'll be arms race for uranium. That's the raw material to make nuclear bombs. So you start thinking about issues related to nuclear. Energy, I covered really, really extensively. I think we need one more third key play to kind of strengthen our play all the way to Santa Claus rally. All right. So right now, tonight, I can announce to you that will be number one, we are looking at energy crisis. Number two, we are also looking at nuclear crisis. We need a third crisis to come in and hammer home. And today on CNBC, kind of a first time somebody ever dared to breach this idea. And I'm going to show it to you, and it's going to be quite shocking. I use the word crisis, but truly we are in a crisis mode, all right? So I'm going to show you what I meant by crisis, all right? I saw it just now. I want to bring it out correctly. And they kind of removed the article, is it? Let me see. Hang on a minute. It's almost there. Oh, I think they've taken away. Just double check. Hold on a minute. Yes, I found it. This is the first time someone challenged the unstoppable. So, not really clear in my mind yet. I only know I want to pursue energy crisis, nuclear crisis. The third crisis is not really clear in my mind yet. But this is a hint to the third crisis. Ready? Here we go. We should fight the Fed because it is fallible, investment advisor says. First time someone brought up a radical idea like this, that if the country is run by monkeys, we got to fight the monkeys. And, it takes a lot of courage for a registered fund under Securities Exchange Commission to really spell it out in clear, and he's exposing himself, all right? He might get into some trouble later on, not too sure how it's going to happen. And the question we got to ask ourselves is, should we fight the Fed? Because the Fed, they are fallible. So, many things to think about just on this red box. And I have to cough at the point in time when I said this. Maybe someone is telling me not to say too much. Right. But, this is the one that really rattled the market. It's not for the sake of pointing the blame at someone just because we needed to blame someone. But how could the most learned, most smart, most intelligent people assembled to support the Fed, they keep making mistakes? Cannot explain, right? They are supposed to be there to protect the market, yet we don't feel protected. Inflation gone out of total out of control. That shouldn't happen in the first place. So right now, they are being accused of slamming the brakes too hard. And the word in the street right now is all about recession. We're going to have a very, very tough recession coming up. I was just going to a few different business meetings. The number one discussion has always been how long the recession will persist. Now, some of them give very, very long-term view about recession. Say, 5 years, 8 years, 10 years of hell. I mean, come on, let's be real. The furthest that you can ever predict, no matter what you claim, whatever metrics they're looking at, what tactics, you cannot go beyond, let me give you this date. All right? You cannot go beyond this date. And what is this date? 5th of November 2024. Anyone that come and tell you they can predict beyond this date, that one is like a prophet already. Because we do not know who will be the new president in charge. 5th November 2024. Okay? And the way I read into this reading and kind of connect the dots is what's happening with Elon Musk right now pushing ahead to buy Twitter. And he wants to put Donald Trump on Twitter platform. Let me tell you, when he does that, Donald Trump will win. And perhaps he wants Donald Trump to win because the current SEC is going after Elon Musk for nonsensical reasons, right? So he got a bad blood with the SEC. He needs a new incoming president to get rid of the current chairman. That's the way I think about it. So whatever said and done, we cannot predict beyond 5th of November 2024 unless you know who's the president, right? So we have to do our best, press on. We got, right now, we got left about 2 more years to that date. We just got to press on. So this is the part that don't even start thinking about recession going past 2024. Don't worry about that, right? Plan in terms of how many more quarters left for us to play the game, right? So right now we're officially in Q4. Next year we got 4 more quarters. And then by the time hit presidential election mode, that's another 3. So 4 plus 3 is 7, plus this quarter 8. There's only 8 more quarters to navigate through these painful times until we can get rid of the incumbent that created all this mess. That's how we should plan our timing. All right. So with that, let me sum it up. Today, there's three major takeaways. Number one, the energy crisis is here. Take advantage of it. Number two, with the president announcing Armageddon, the nuclear crisis has arrived. What is the third crisis? An overrun of the Fed, a firing of the Fed? No idea yet. Still figuring out. I hope to wrap my mind around it. By the time I meet you on 4th of November, live in person, I'll be able to spell out a very, very clear strategy to prepare all the way for Santa Claus rally. Thank you, everyone, for joining me here tonight. As you can see, your teacher is below the weather. I just got to rest more. And tomorrow, I shall see you same time. Thank you. May God bless you. Goodbye, everybody.